right, and we're back with the Sports For You podcast,
What's up, everybody?
episode 4.
Yes.
You got me, Gavin Bullock, and
Jake Stevenson?
we're going to hop right into it.
Yes, sir.
All right, so the first one that we're going to go with is our Denver versus Lakers reaction. Go ahead. I'll let you lead this one off.
Okay, so Denver came out strong. I thought they were a lot more aggressive than the Lakers in the first half. Jokic especially. First quarter, 11 points. I felt like Anthony Davis kind of came out sluggish. LeBron came out a little sluggish at first. They just they look like they have a little bit of the Clipper syndrome in the fact that it seemed like they were kind of like, oh, this Nuggets team, they're just going to fold over. And I don't know why everybody's thinking that. They've been resilient this whole playoffs. And they really came out, punched him in the mouth. Jokic, good first quarter. Then Michael Porter Jr. and Monte Morris got going.
Yep.
And then towards the end, the Lakers started coming back. But just in the end, too much to overcome. Nuggets had it going. Game 3 win. Game 4, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, for sure. I think the main factor for me as to why the Lakers lost, Anthony Davis, you got 43 minutes, 2 rebounds.
Yeah, you got to do better.
JaVale McGee, he only played 8 minutes, 1 rebound. You got Dwight Howard played 14 minutes, 1 rebound. That's not going to cut it, especially when you look at the Nuggets. You got guys who, Paul Millsap, 8 rebounds, 10 for the Joker, 8 for Murray,
6
Michael
for
Porter Jr. Yeah, Torrey Craig 6 as well. That kind of thing gets overlooked a lot. You might look at the points, you might think it's something crazy, but that's the main thing for me. Plus, you got Jeremy Grant goes off, has a great game, one of his probably career highs, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's his playoff career high for sure.
Yeah. So, and then Murray hit a bunch of clutch shots at the end. He played really well, 28, 12, and 8.
Yep.
I think Lakers take game 3. I think maybe
Game 4.
Game 4, and then I think Nuggets will take the next game, and then Lakers will flip it.
Yeah, I think
Lakers in 6.
I think the Lakers end it in 6, only because I don't think LeBron will be like Kawhi or not even like Kawhi. I think the main difference in these two teams is LeBron has this solid second option, and AD.
Yeah.
AD was slow tonight. I thought
if he steps it up, they win.
I would agree. I thought this game would be kind of after last game, him performing so well, especially in that second half. Everybody's going to remember the game winner. But even before that, he was performing so well, scored the final at least 10 points for the Lakers.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to kind of be his other coming out game. Okay, I'm the guy here. I'm gonna take this thing over, and we're going to win this series. They can't stop me. And, he didn't have a bad game on the points. 27 points on 9 of 17, 9 of 10 free throw shooting, but only 2 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal. Didn't really do too much. Yeah. His defense was a little lackadaisical, especially at first. Jokic was having his way. Anthony Davis, you got to come out better than that, but he was still a +4.
Well, the thing is if you are on a team with LeBron, he's putting up 30, 10, and 11 on 61% shooting, and you're losing a game, you gotta look at that second option, and you could see obviously 43 minutes, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 27 points, which isn't bad. But there's a lot. If you watch the game, there's a lot of defensive let-ups where he should have got blocks, he should have done this, should have done that. Rondo played especially well.
Yeah, Rondo played well.
Third, fourth quarter. Same with LeBron. He played well in the second half.
I just think it all comes down to who's going to be that third guy who steps up. Denver always, it feels like, has somebody, but they always have. They have the threat in Michael Porter Jr. Coming off the bench. They also have Monte Morris who can light it up.
Where's Danny Green? That's what I'm wondering.
Danny Green
he's been so silent this
Danny
playoffs.
Green has always been but he'll have one game this playoffs where he'll go off for 26, 30 points, 7 threes. He did this for the Spurs too. He would have just spurts where he would just go off. Yeah. Danny Green's main thing is going to be guarding the best perimeter player.
Yeah.
And I think they really had him for being able to guard Paul George because everybody thought they'd play the Clippers.
Yeah.
This series, it's he can guard Jamal. I just think Jamal's a little.
But Rondo did really good. With
Rondo does. Yeah, Rondo does good because he's just as quick. He's got quick hands.
He's a great defender. He stays in front. Yeah, he does. Quickest hands. He had 2 or 3 steals in that fourth quarter that brought them back into the game. I mean, it was a blowout during the third quarter.
Yes.
20-point lead.
Yeah.
I mean, it should have been over.
Well, Denver beat them by 8 mostly.
A little bit.
All quarters except the fourth, they lost by 10. But
Yeah.
the Lakers, and sadly, well, not sadly, this playoffs, it's LeBron's to lose now. I mean, I don't really think there's Miami's a threat, but I don't think there's. They need that consistent third option though for next season. That's what they've got to figure out next. They've got to get. I bag on LeBron a lot for turning Chris Bosh and Kevin Love into spot up shooters. Around the perimeter.
But everybody's got to
those guys,
role,
K Love and Chris Bosh, when you needed them to, I felt like they would step up and they were still a threat. They don't have a third scoring. Kyle Kuzma.
No.
And his defense is horrible. It's not even like he's this natural.
Misses wide open layups.
Like Michael Porter Jr., you can live with the defensive deficiencies.
Yeah.
Because he's just such a natural born scorer.
You can I know.
It's like he can go and get his own shot whenever he wants. He's a great third scoring option
for sure
at this point of his career.
And you got Jeremy Grant giving up like 26s. Worse, but I mean, like
Lakers for next season.
More people just have to do more for the
Lakers for next season. I think that's what they got to look towards because everybody's coming back better next season.
Get an offensive threat.
But I mean,
a guy who can create his own shot,
which I thought,
or a setup shooter.
Maybe I haven't been paying attention enough to the news. What happened to Dion Waiters? I kind of thought that's what they brought him in kind of to do it. I mean, he's not even listed on the DNPs.
I didn't see him.
He isn't. I thought that's because Dion was always kind of this third scorer who can go and create his own shot.
Might not be super efficient, but he
coming off the bench. I just think that's really important.
Yeah, he's out for game 3.
He's out. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and if you look at the other teams, that they're going to be facing off against next year.
Yeah.
So the Clippers. I know everybody's down on them, but you got Kawhi still.
Yeah.
Paul George still. But you also had third scoring options like Lou Will, Montrezl Harrell, all of them.
Yep.
Milwaukee, I mean, they just have a whole bunch of scorers. I think their two main competitors will be the Clippers in the West.
Yeah.
And Brooklyn in the East.
Depending on what they keep together. And what they do.
And Golden State. We can't forget about Golden State.
Sure.
Because Golden State will have Wiggins or somebody else as a third option.
Well, the thing is, you never know who they're going to bring in, too.
No, I know. That's when you got to bring in a third scoring option or a third star.
Yeah,
one of the
for
two.
Sure. All right, so next one we got Heats versus Celtics. I think Miami's going to win Game 4 and then lose Game 5 and then win Game 6.
You think?
Yeah, I think they're going to win 4-2, but they're going to drop Game 5. I think Jimmy kind of needs to show he's the best player on the team. And Bam's got to kind of be that guy. You got to play some defense, get some tough rebounds, play in the big moments like he's been playing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the Celtics locker room that big old fight that happened. I think it helped.
I think that helped, and I also thought getting Gordon Hayward back helped.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, somebody like Gordon's gonna.
Gordon Hayward, I felt like just gives him another scoring option.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of a difference. I have Boston winning this.
I
think it'll be 2-2. Yep,
I think
I do.
It'll go 6 or 7 for me.
I think it'll go 6 or 7. I'm leaning towards 7. I think Boston, Miami's a bunch of dogs, and Miami I think will end up winning the series because of that. Yeah. But Boston has some dogs on there too. Marcus Smart, a dog. Yes. Kemba Walker, he's that guy. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown's a dog.
Jaylen Brown's a dog.
Jason Tatum, I think he's got some dog in him.
Can be.
I think it's two teams full of guys who are scrappy and will do anything to win.
Yeah.
I could see it going either way. I think it's going to go 7. I think Boston will win this game.
Wow.
Maybe. Gordon Hayward coming back really helps.
It really just depends, I think, how they look, the Heat look after this. From what I'm seeing here, like Bam had 27, 16, but other than that, everybody else is like Butler had 17 points, Dragic had 11. Hero had 22, which is good, but you got to get more from more guys. I think
Jimmy's
Jones
just
Jr. 3.
Jimmy's just so weird. Jimmy's the weirdest all-star borderline superstar that we have in today's game because
he does a lot more than just on the stat sheet.
Yeah, and it doesn't appear on the stat sheet.
Mm-hmm.
He had 17, 8, and 3, 2 blocks though. He's
also,
just
that team, the Heat team in this game 3, they shot 38% from the field.
yeah.
So that
bad
you got to
shooting.
look at that compared to Boston's
Jay Crowder
48.
went 2 of 10.
Yeah, compared to
Goran 2 of 10.
Yeah, and that's compared to the Celtics. They shot 48%. So there's not like, I think if they hit their shots, they play better defense. I think
Yeah.
than what the Celtics do. So if they could just hit buckets, I think they'd be all right. Get some more points in the paint because they had 36 points in the paint, created 60.
Boston
change.
Boston has so many scoring options, and I think having Gordon Hayward back just gives them another one.
I agree. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
And he didn't really play great. Like he
had 7 points or 6.
6, yeah.
On 2 of 7.
But he had some assists. He had some rebounds.
6, 5, 4, 3, and 1.
Yeah, so he played a decent role, but I don't know. I think it could be a very interesting series. Once game 6 or 7 comes around, you've really got a game for us. Like
I think
this is going to be a nail biter.
I think Boston wins game 4. I'm
Really?
going with Boston. Yep.
They could.
I'm going with Boston.
I'm not super sure that. Like, I think Lakers will definitely take the next game against the Nuggets,
I think Lakers will win it in 6.
but I don't think.
I don't think the Lakers will roll over. Frank Vogel has been very good as a coach of motivating
Keeping
them,
everybody together,
and I
too.
think keeping everybody together. Whereas Doc Rivers from the Clippers kind of fed into it and was like,
And
well, they're lackadaisical.
Well,
I know they'll wake up.
And you got a guy in a Kawhi who's not good. Like, if something happens,
Kawhi ain't gonna do that.
LeBron might be wrong, but at least at least
LeBron will talk about it.
Yeah, but LeBron's gonna get it out there.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be talked about. The thing is, if you got a guy like Paul George, like if you're playing with Paul George, if he's doing something wrong, like obviously how he's been playing with people, like you got to talk to him.
Yeah,
And
no,
you
I
can't-
agree.
And this kind of leads into like the next thing we were going to talk about is like the Clippers don't respect PG. Like there's reports of that, like the role players not respecting him. If your star Kawhi is not saying something about that, that's a problem. Like he's got to be the guy to be like, if your coach isn't going to do it, then you got to be like, okay, listen, like we need to bring this together. Like, what are you guys talking about here?
I think there's a lot that should be said about Kawhi Leonard not sticking up for him. I don't know what Kawhi's thinking right now.
Either.
I really
think he's
don't.
thinking I made a mistake.
I
should
would
went out to LA for another team though.
No.
Good old Lakers. I think so.
He should have stayed with Toronto.
I think he's thinking, dang. Or maybe he's thinking,
No,
I could beat
stay
these
with
teams
Toronto.
out east.
Stay with Toronto. You should have ran it back with them. Said,
should've.
you know what?
Let me go get one that actually
While
matters.
while I don't have a Paul George type of name on that team, I still have Siakam, who I think's best in a second option.
An easier
Kyle
defense.
Lowry's a dog. Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Marc Gasol, all these guys.
And Lowry's going to be that leader for you.
Yeah.
Even though he's not good
Yeah.
a player maybe to be.
Or Kyle will be that emotional.
He's emotional. He's a dog.
He'll
will
be the
guy.
Russell Westbrook to KD, what
Yes.
that was like.
Yes.
He'll be the emotional type of leader. He'll be the bulldog on that team. He'll do the dirty work.
Yeah.
I think Kawhi's somewhat regretting it, but you got to realize Paul George was like his 4th option to join him. He has Kevin Durant was number 1. He asked Jimmy Butler before Paul George
Which I think that's showing.
to join him.
It's showing right
And
now.
he asked somebody else to join him before that. I'm forgetting who. I'm drawing a blank.
I remember the Jimmy
But there
Butler,
was
KD,
somebody else. Kyrie was the
yeah.
other guy he wanted to join him. He wanted those 3 to. He asked
guys
those
who you know are
3.
going to consistently show up and get you a bucket.
He wanted KD, then Kyrie, then Jimmy, and then he's like, well, okay, Paul George.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Paul George
On
has a
paper,
lot.
Paul George sounds good.
Paul George as a player looks good. I mean, he
Yeah,
has
he's good.
everything you want.
Yeah, he's a good defender. He
Great
can shoot.
two-way player.
He can rebound. He can pass. He could bring the ball up.
It's just
he
in
just
the
can't show up in
playoffs.
big moments.
In the playoffs,
That's
he's
all it
breaking it
is.
off the side of the backboard.
Yeah.
Which goes into the next topic with the role players,
Yeah.
then thinking, which just isn't true. Lou Will and Montrezl. I'm sure it's Montrezl Harrell and Marcus Morris saying all that.
Because they're the
saying all
they're
that
the trash
stuff.
talkers of the team.
But-
they're the ones who start. They're the troublemakers.
And it's not true what they're saying.
No,
Paul George
maybe
is
Lou
a better
Will, though.
player. I don't think Lou Will's a
Playoff
better player.
time?
Lou Will didn't show up that
No,
much
he didn't.
in the
Not
playoffs.
especially not game.
So I can't give Lou Will that at all.
That's fair. That's fair.
He didn't show up at all. That whole team
But
didn't really
if I'm
show
Lou
up.
Will, though, I'm thinking, dude.
If I'm Lou Will, yeah, maybe scoring
You know what
wise
I mean?
I'm as good, but I know as a complete
Yeah,
player
for
I'm not
sure.
as good.
For
Scoring
sure,
wise,
but you're
maybe.
that guy. Imagine if you're in the locker room and you're him. You're like
If I'm the Clippers,
Lou Will, I'm probably like, dude. Paul
If
George,
I'm the
Paul George is
Clippers-
good, but come on.
if I'm the Clippers, which I know you traded all your picks away to OKC,
Yeah.
I'm looking at situations like the Bradley Beal situation.
For people want out.
Maybe you trade Paul George for Brad Beal.
Maybe Giannis.
I don't know. I don't know if
Paul
that
George
would
for
be
Giannis. Get Paul George back in a small market.
Well, if Giannis wants out.
Yeah, if he wants out, and Paul George get him in a
is
small
Milwaukee
market.
going to take that deal?
They might, because it might be like, let's see, the last time we had Paul George in a small market where he's that star, that was the Pacers. They were deep.
That was
contenders.
also pre-injury.
I know, but he's arguably a better player, at least in the regular season. Like, we know he could do it.
Maybe regular season.
Yeah, playoffs no. But we know that he's still that guy, though, at least through the regular season. So he's capable of doing it.
He ain't going to win anything.
I'm just saying the injury is not the reason why that Paul George isn't performing.
I think there's a definite not a noticeable drop off, but I think after that injury, everything changed. Paul George before that injury,
but not in the regular season. So why is it just a playoffs?
He had one great regular season. He had one great one.
I don't know,
with
man.
OKC and all the attention was on Russ.
That one was by far
that
the best
one. And if we actually remember that, in the first half he was great. In the second half he started to fall off a little bit because of the shoulder injuries.
I mean, but still, he's still a dog.
The dude is injury prone, and I think before that injury, Paul George was on the trajectory of becoming at least a top 5 player in the league. He was carrying the Pacers to conference finals, taking LeBron
He's
in the
definitely
Heat
going to be a
7.
Top 5, 6, 7 player at least.
I think 5. He was taking LeBron in the Heat to 7.
Yeah, you're right. By himself, really. With Hibby
and he had good
Hibbert
supporting
West,
cast. And then after that injury, athleticism started to decline, which was a huge part of his game. Just everything started to decline a little bit.
Which didn't have the killer instinct anymore.
No,
I don't know where that went.
Well,
that probably went with his injury.
Probably that's long gone.
But he used to have that thing where he's like, "I'm gonna go get a bucket," or "I'm going at this guy." Now he's like, and maybe it's because he's on stars with teams now too.
Yeah,
and now he takes
players.
like a back seat.
Though Russ was,
but Russ, that was Russ's team.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
Paul George has a lot to prove next season. Yes. I think he's out of a lot of top 10 list, probably including mine.
He is because of the playoff performance.
Including mine, he's definitely out of that.
It's the same reason why we can't say that Giannis is like one of the best players in the league.
How are we saying Giannis is top 5 right now?
I don't know.
That's a good conversation. That's a discussion for another day.
We'll have to put a pin in that one.
I know a lot of people will be upset about that. That statement.
They shouldn't be.
I don't think they should be either. But I know a lot of people will be very upset about that comment. Because they'll yell at me.
He's on that fringe.
They'll yell at me 2-time MVP and a 1-time Defensive Player of the Year. Show me in the playoffs.
Okay. And that's going to get into my next one.
What's that?
Giannis winning the MVP.
And I know you don't think he deserves it because of LeBron, and I
don't.
think Giannis does because the MVP is a regular season award strictly.
I know.
And LeBron has the case where, here's what I never understood, granted, KD and Steph I don't think had quite a season LeBron had this year.
Yeah.
But everybody acted like, KD and Steph are on a team, so they cancel each other out. So they shouldn't even be in consideration, for all NBA first team and all this. And now all of a sudden, because it's LeBron.
I think that's stupid too, though. No, I think that's stupid.
I think it's stupid that KD and Steph
have two stars,
hold them to the same standard.
If you had 2 stars, then I would still consider them obviously for the first team, but it'd be harder to give it to an MVP.
Why?
It just is, man.
Anthony Davis led the Lakers in all the statistics other than assists.
But the thing is, he wasn't that leader.
I think LeBron was the best, but there are cases where AD can
for sure. And you know what?
The best
I would be okay with Anthony Davis winning MVP over Giannis.
No.
Because Anthony Davis is a better defender.
No, obviously not. Giannis won Defensive Player of the Year.
But I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that either.
Why? Giannis can guard the perimeter. Giannis can guard the post. He can guard everything.
I don't agree with that either. And plus, not my main thing was LeBron. He's in his late seasons.
Okay.
He's very old.
This isn't an age award.
I know. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me get there.
All right, I'll get it.
He's late. He's starting to get an old man. So he's got... I'm just putting that in because the MVP award is an award of a story, like a narrative to something.
I would agree with that.
So I'm saying based on what we know, of how they previously go, this is how it should go. And then LeBron takes his team. He's an old guy now. He takes this and a young player who's never won before. He's not a winner. He takes a young talent. They get to the number 1 seed in the West. in a struggling year. They play well out of the bubble and in the
will.
first of the playoffs. I think he deserves it.
My only thing is, Giannis, we always give it to the guy who has the best team with the best record most of the time, unless we have a Russell Westbrook type of outlier where it's a triple-double. Giannis and the Bucks dominated that regular season, except for the bubble.
Though, in a weak East.
I would agree, but...
And those East teams weren't playing well in the regular season like they are now in the playoffs.
Toronto was playing well. Boston was playing well. Miami was silently playing well.
Great.
They had beaten the Bucks twice. They were silently playing very good basketball.
Clippers are playing better than they did in the playoffs, obviously.
Nuggets are still good.
Nuggets are still good.
So you're not giving it to the guy averaging 29.5, 14, 6.
I'm not. I'm giving
Defensive player of the year. I'm sorry,
25,
Giannis.
10. He led the league in assists.
Cool. He wasn't even the leader on his team in points, rebounds, steals, or blocks.
And I know that. That's why I'm saying Anthony Davis, I think, could have gotten it over him.
No.
Because you got the number one team in the league, and you're arguably... LeBron's more valuable than AD right now, to me.
I would agree.
If I got to get rid of
LeBron's number 2.
you're gone.
No.
I say you're getting rid of
AD. For this season?
For this right now. If I got LeBron...
Does that mean I can get him
AD,
back next year?
I don't know. I didn't think
because Anthony Davis in the future. No,
okay,
Anthony Davis
obviously
is the future of the Lakers.
No, for sure. Obviously not taking age or the length of career left.
Even if we're taking him out of this playoffs, I'm not even sure.
I'm not taking anybody over LeBron ever. I'm sorry.
There's a lot of hesitation.
I'm not. LeBron is the most valuable player on every team for every year he's been in the league.
I would lean towards LeBron. But tonight, I feel like was the first night where LeBron took over, in quotation marks, and lost.
30-10-11 ain't bad.
Didn't I read you off the stats what he was in the second half?
Okay, you sound like Skip now.
38%
because you're just reading off
in second
quarter.
half.
You're reading
no, those were second half stats.
Okay, plus he's probably playing less because they're winning the games. He's probably playing less in the fourth. He's probably getting up less shots. He's trying to get the ball around.
He's been pretty subpar in these fourth quarters.
But just
and in the second half.
That's just one quarter.
Anthony Davis has been pretty good.
That's just
in these.
one quarter, though.
Anthony Davis has been very good.
I'm not
in the
trying
half.
to get an Anthony Davis versus LeBron argument because
this goes into MVP in that they should both
I think
be canceled
both of them
out.
should be over.
Because for 3 years I had to sit there and argue with people that KD and Steph should not be canceled out. Anthony Davis and LeBron should be. Giannis deserved the MVP. He was the best defensive player in the year. Led them to the best record. They were on a 70-win pace before Corona happened.
I don't agree, man.
And LeBron had a player of Anthony Davis's caliber with him. Where who did Giannis have? That was that. Type of caliber?
His team
had
had been
Chris
around
Middleton.
LeBron's also got a pretty new team though. That's the thing.
Okay,
so it's harder.
I'll
for
say
them to
LeBron
mesh.
did have a misfit type of a team.
Yeah. Like a just random people.
Yeah, but he also had Anthony Davis, which makes it a hell of a lot easier. Giannis deserved it.
It's just a harder conference throughout the regular season. Like there were 10.
It is a harder conference.
There's
I'm
literally
with you.
12 teams that should have made the playoffs.
I'm with you.
Or could have made. Like these are like teams that in any other era they would be like a Suns type team. How they played.
Okay.
They literally could be one of the best teams in the NBA. Like if you would have put them in 20 years ago.
Not one of the best teams, but they'd make.
Like they'd be like
playoffs.
they'd be like a 5th or 6th seed probably. Yeah.
No, they'd be 8.
Come on.
They'd be an 8 or a 7.
You gotta be kidding me.
They'd be an 8 or a 7, maybe.
Either way, LeBron's playing.
You're discounting the order here. It's just a little bit there. I discount
probably. But the thing is LeBron's playing a harder conference.
He is.
Led his team to first in the conference. He's definitely the most valuable. Whether he has the statistics to back that up, he's the most valuable. On
he
the
is
team.
on that team. I would agree with that. Without LeBron,
a ragtag group of guys who he didn't really even want. Like everybody's thinking when they got like 2 years ago, they're like, dude, you're bringing in Rondo, JaVale, you're bringing in. Like Danny Green
was a good move, and Danny Green was
whether they're good moves and whether they mesh are different too. You're keeping Kuz, like you got a lot of weird guys on this team.
Yeah, they shouldn't have kept Kuz.
They brought Dion in, they got Morris, like they got a bunch of ragtag players. Avery Bradley, which he's not even playing now, and they're playing better without him, arguably, or just as good.
Well, just as good.
Equally as good. But my point is, when you got that, that for me. That's where it's gonna go.
My thing is, it's a regular season award. Giannis, like Lamar Jackson does in the NFL, completely dominates the regular season. He is now in LeBron territory, where LeBron was early in his career, because LeBron started his career off with 2 MVPs, and then it's like, okay, now I need you to prove yourself. Giannis won't get any more until he starts proving himself.
But the thing is, for me at least, and I'm sure for a lot of people too, when I think about it, whether I mean to or not, and whether I should put this into the equation or not.
You 17th year, 18th year?
No, that too.
Okay.
But, I mean, that as well. But Giannis doesn't get it done in the playoffs, and I can't forget that.
Now, that is fair.
I can't forget it. All those statistics mean jack to me, because sadly, I can't forget the playoffs. And especially after the word comes out, after he gets trampled, how can I, like, as a player, and not even just that, it's the fact that LeBron only got 16 votes.
That's criminal. I think he should have.
And that's more of where I was going to try to argue anyway. 16 votes out of 100. If he lost like 30 or 40 votes and he got like whatever, like 16 people, like 16 votes.
I think what happens is, first off, they had the regular season voting for it. They have it, I think, before the playoffs start, or at least right before. And I think most people, rightfully so, were expecting Giannis to show out. That's what happens usually.
I didn't.
You didn't. I actually had him going to the finals. So I feel dumb because I like Giannis's work ethic, and I think Giannis does work too. A lot.
He's got good personality.
I think he's very good, and I thought, you know what? Even though the Heat do have a team that stacks up well against them, I think Giannis will get it done.
No, this is a bunch of fucking bullshit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting heated just thinking about this whole thing. No way. LeBron, at least 16 votes.
LeBron probably should have had more.
I think if he has 30 votes, I'm okay with it. I can deal.
My thing is, I get where the voters are coming from, because it's like he has this other guy with him who could be MVP.
For sure. And I agree, he could be MVP.
Yeah.
But Giannis, come on. Giannis just not like...
You got to think from the voters' point of view.
I know, that's
strictly regular season.
I know, that's how I was going to say. I mean, like...
We don't get to count in playoffs.
It'd be a lot easier for me to say, like, a month or two ago...
That Giannis is...
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
Giannis would be way closer versus now.
I would agree. Now it's like looking back at it.
Even me keeping it out, it's just recency bias. Like, even me keeping that out, I can't.
That's why Giannis, I brought up the top 5 thing, because if we all remember real quick before we go on to the next one, when LeBron had won 2 MVPs. Yeah. And after that Dallas series that he had, and he had a bad series the year before against Boston, however you want to put it, he had a bad series. He had a bad last 3 games. Everybody had LeBron out of their top 5s, if we all remember, or at number 5. You don't remember that? I remember watching First Take, and I know it was Skip and Stephen.
Yeah, but they say stuff just.
I know.
Get everybody
but Steve,
popping,
everybody had LeBron. They would have D Wade above him. They would have Kobe above him.
If you got D Wade above LeBron,
they would.
He played better in 2011. He played better in the series, but you cannot tell me that.
I didn't think D Wade was a better player.
Nor Dirk.
Well, Dirk had just came off a Finals MVP and beat LeBron's team.
Yeah, but his team, like, everybody played terrible.
They beat LeBron's team, though. What else I gotta say? And then they'd have Dwight Howard. Just because you beat somebody doesn't mean you're a better player than them. I would agree, but in their perspective, and I would almost agree with it. No, it kind of does. LeBron was the best player on that team. Dwight was coming off 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards. He was still a beast back then.
Yeah,
and they would have a young Kevin Durant thrown in there. Those were like the 6 players.
And KD wasn't better than, because KD hadn't.
No, KD wasn't. KD didn't
prove anything.
No, KD hadn't been better than him yet.
Yeah, like how are you gonna knock somebody who? I don't know. Like, yeah, at the time, Dwight's averaging like 18 a game.
All I'm saying is that's why I brought up the Giannis in the top 5. And I guess you don't remember this, but I do. It was every debate show. Every analyst would be like, "Oh, is LeBron a top 5 player?"
Yeah, but they're baiting a little bit too. They're clickbaiting at that point too.
But it was reasonable. It was like, okay,
over Dwayne Wade. Come on,
Dwayne Wade had a better final series.
He had a better final series, but
he showed up. He showed up when it mattered, and LeBron didn't. That was everybody's.
So Chris Middleton showed up when
he showed up for one.
When
game.
Giannis didn't play.
He showed up for one game.
All right, wait. Are we gonna say
he had one game
better?
He had one game. He had one game. D-Way had a whole series.
I don't know. I just have a hard time just because you can't base your opinion off one series strictly. Like, just because one,
you can when you have 2 straight years of meltdowns, which is what Giannis has had. He had a meltdown against Toronto and a meltdown against.
And it's also different when you do it earlier rounds versus finals. There's a bigger difference there.
I would agree. I think Giannis is under more fire, or he should be under more fire. He's not, but he should be under more fire than what LeBron was, what LeBron should have been.
Because he did it back-to-back
But
years.
LeBron was still there back-to-back years. He lost against Boston and then lost against Dallas, obviously, and had 2 meltdowns.
Yeah.
That's why Giannis is in somewhat of the same position, though he should be in a little bit worse of one because it's in conference finals and semis.
Do you have anything else to talk about?
Giannis should have been MVP. Giannis is MVP though. It's a regular season award.
Maybe, but LeBron shouldn't.
And we might agree with the defensive player of the year stuff.
And we might agree, but let me 16 votes.
He probably could have had a few more thrown in there.
I think Giannis probably does win it.
But you know what?
I'm biased because I got the postseason versus.
I would agree with that.
You know what I mean?
I'm trying to block that out.
It's hard to do.
But I'm also a little upset that now because it's LeBron and Anthony Davis, it's okay to have 2 guys on the same team All NBA when KD and Steph should have been. But that's none of my business. What I'm saying is we're not holding them to the same. KD and Steph, it was always, they cancel each other out. So you can't have them both on an All-NBA team because they cancel each other out. But LeBron and AD, they don't cancel each other out in all the awards. I don't think they should either.
I agree.
But
I agree with you.
And again, Giannis, I still think is the best defender in the league. 6'11". He can keep up with point guards where I don't think Anthony Davis does as well of a job.
Anthony Davis, Giannis, I honestly, I don't know.
There's an argument, though, for AD being better than Giannis. I haven't listened to
Especially
because I think AD is
I don't
a better
think Giannis
offensive player.
deserved Defensive Player of the Year.
I think he did.
I don't.
I do. I think he's tremendous in the post. He's big enough to guard everybody in the post. Anthony Davis is too. That's where he gets his bread and butter.
For sure.
But he can also switch out and guard the Damian Lillards, guard the Jamal Murrays, and all that.
For sure. But the thing is
averages more rebounds, which goes into defense as well.
Obviously, the thing is stats don't tell a whole lot.
No, not defensively. I think you got to watch them.
But you got to have more than Giannis had 1 steal and 1 block a game. Come on. Obviously stats are not everything when it comes. But you got a guy like that versus Anthony Davis, who I'm sure I haven't even looked at it. But I'm sure he's
blocks. He's above him.
He's 1.5 steals, which is 0.5 more, and 2.3 blocks, which is almost 150%.
I still think Giannis was a better defender.
But you could see why I think Anthony Davis
and there's an argument, but I also think Milwaukee was the number 1 defensive team in the league, and he was the best defensive player on that team in the league.
That's a narrative.
I mean,
That's
it could be a narrative. It could be a narrative because it's you're surrounded by other great defenders, so it makes you look better.
Defender, yeah. And that would be easier to get steals. And you get blocks because they're worried about a defender, and you come above them and block them.
I mean, listen, I feel bad for LeBron because this year was the last year for him to win MVP because Kevin Durant's coming back next year and winning it. But other than that,
see if he'll stay healthy.
Other than that,
if he stays healthy,
fingers crossed.
I mean, that's a narrative. That's gonna be another narrative. Though.
I know.
He's gonna come back if he averages 28 a game. And you're
better stay healthy. Yeah.
To each your own. I like narratives.
Oh, I can't wait for next season.
I like
next
narratives.
year. Next year it's gonna be telling.
All right. We gotta move on. Hopping over to the NFL here. We're going to start with Bears. This is our Week 2 recap, just so you know before we start. Bears versus Giants. Bears got the dub, 17-13.
Oh, my God. I don't even want to talk about what happened.
Terrible offensive game, I think, overall. Both teams didn't really bring it. Giants team's pretty much now all injured. They played better without. They kind of, once they all got injured, they played better. I don't think that's because they're a better player, a better team without him, but it's just kind of interesting to see that. Same thing with the Bucks and Giannis and all that. But Daniel Jones, 1 interception, no touchdowns.
Yeah, Daniel's got to be better.
Saquon got injured. Sterling Shepard got injured too, didn't he?
Yeah, Sterling Shepard, a toe injury, which could keep him sidelined for a couple of weeks.
Saquon's done, right, for the season?
Yeah, Saquon's
done.
I
saw.
Saquon
what happened?
Tore his ACL.
Tore his ACL. That's tough.
I don't even want to.
That is tough.
Saquon, please get healthy. Please don't leave us.
Yeah, Trubisky looked okay. I mean, the offense has never really got going.
Though I do think the Giants can, which I know we'll get to this later. I do think the Giants can possibly pull out a win next season or next year or
next week.
Next week.
I got what you meant.
Saquon's obviously the biggest loss that we could that changes the dynamic. But we did add Devontae Freeman today.
Yeah.
Nice solid running back. We had Deion Lewis, who I thought showed a little bit.
And you're going to need a running back now.
We're going 3-13, something like that, 4-12.
I think so. I'm thinking more 3-13 after the start.
I
thought they'd start a little hotter.
Like, I didn't think they'd win.
Or not hotter,
games.
I thought maybe they might. I don't know. I thought they'd look at least like decent. I thought Daniel Jones played better.
Sterling Shepard really, I felt like wasn't that. He's a loss because I think he's number 1 or 2 on our receivers. But
he's replaceable, though.
We still have Darius Slayton is a good receiver. Golden Tate is a good receiver. Evan Ingram is a good tight end. We still have weapons.
Yeah.
Sterling Shepard's probably our best one. He should be back in a week or two, but
hopefully. I think now we're kind of looking at like a 3-team win. After
Saquon's
Saquon's out, they're a 2-3-team win.
I mean, Daniel Jones, he needs to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
Yeah, and I mean, let's say heat up. You never know.
But I will say, and we'll get to it, they do have a chance to win next week.
Yeah. So we got Bengals and Browns.
This was a fun game.
Yeah, this is a great
This
game.
was a fun Thursday night game.
Show off your quarterbacks. Quarterback duel is pretty much what
it's awesome now that Baker's the worst quarterback in his division.
Yeah.
Right now. I
agree.
Joe Burrow. And I will say this, before the season, I wasn't exactly high on Joe Burrow. Yeah. I thought he'd be good, but I was like, man, he was surrounded by a whole bunch of talent at LSU.
I thought he'd be solid, but nothing spectacular.
These first 2 games, he's really shown me some good stuff. 61 pass attempts.
Yeah, you gotta cut that down.
Jeez.
Even if you can get it down to like the 45, 50 area, that's better than 61. He should be throwing realistically like 35 to 40 throws.
Yeah. 61
but that just shows that they have the confidence in him, though.
316 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 76.8 QBR.
And if they would have got that onside kick, they would have won. Because he led that final drive, and they looked good on that final drive.
This is what scared me about the Browns. Yes, they won, but Nick Chubb carried the ball 22 times for 124 yards.
Yep.
Kareem Hunt also had a great game. They have the best.
And Baker didn't even play that bad. Like, he played one of his better games.
I thought Baker had a beautiful throw to OBJ.
Yeah.
A beautiful throw to him for the touchdown.
Baker
played good.
But that's the thing that's almost more concerning, though.
Yeah.
The fact that he
played
good,
only won by 5.
A Bengals team, you win by 5, and he threw an interception late in the game that gave them the chance to run it down. They got a touchdown, and if they get an onside kick, they win.
Yeah.
So he looked really pretty good until that happened in the big moment.
He had a bad throw in a big moment.
You know, it happens. But
again, he's just the worst quarterback in the division, though. Right as of now, I do think Joe Burrow
2 weeks in,
is already better than him. Big Ben is obviously better.
Yes, obviously.
Yeah, Lamar obviously.
But
that game was so entertaining to watch. The Sunday night game was also. All the night games were very entertaining.
They were really good. That kind of leads to the next one. Well, not really, but the Rams versus Eagles.
Gosh, Carson Wentz keeps proving
he looked bad.
Come on, man!
2 interceptions and no touchdowns.
I picked them to win. I thought they'd be the same position as the Colts, which the Colts didn't let me down.
Yeah,
they showed up. They won their game. And now
Goff looks good. Jared Goff looks good.
The Rams are looking very good.
But I was right about that Eagles team, though.
You were.
I knew.
You were.
I had
so far, you are.
I've had a really good feeling about this Eagles team just not stepping up to the plate, being the same as they were.
Hopefully, they step up. But this has the early signs of a disaster.
Yeah.
And then looking, maybe is Carson Wentz that guy?
Is he? And you already got rid of the other guy. You already got rid of your second option.
Well, they got Jalen Hurts, though.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a reason they did that.
But I think also, like, the fact that they got Jalen Hurts almost, like, it's like, you're my replacement. Like, Wentz is almost like, it puts so much pressure on him, probably, I imagine.
Yeah, that's what the NFL's about, though. Pressure, you got to live up to it,
I
Carson.
guess
And you're getting beat 37-19.
Yeah, by a Rams team that usually like your team.
Well, the Rams are a good team,
but they're slightly better than Eagles, but not that much better. Not 37-19.
The Rams team's looking good.
No, there are, especially when golf plays like that.
Yeah.
When golf plays
But
like
Sean
that.
McVay always does very good early in the regular season. He's
Yeah.
such a genius in offensive schemes. I don't think teams exactly know what to look for, what's coming. He's the best offensive coach, maybe outside of Andy Reid. Offensive head coach.
I don't know. I think the Patriots got something to say about that.
Offensively?
Yeah.
Maybe. Josh McDaniels is a pretty good offensive coach.
Especially like
Sean
we'll
McVay,
get into it here in a little bit, but
Sean
especially
McVay, though,
how the Patriots are looking this year too.
they have been looking very
with
good.
a totally different play style quarterback.
I would agree.
Because they they changed their playbook up a lot.
Yes.
Like
you had to. God, yes. They went from a guy who couldn't even move 2 inches in the pocket
for 20
to
years.
A guy,
for 20 years,
who threw stationary passes to a guy who is better on the run.
Yeah, super mobile.
But the Rams look good. The Eagles, man, fix it quick. I need you guys to go 11-3. That's what I need you guys to go to make my prediction look good.
I mean, it's
maybe even 10-4.
Wentz is gonna have to look a lot better. Though.
Wentz is gonna have to stop being Carson Wentz.
So the Falcons lost to the Cowgirls 39-40. This is a fun game. As much as I hate to say it, because I'm sad with the result, especially with how well Matt Ryan played. Like 4 touchdowns. He was throwing some really good pass. He's been really good this year so far. Cowboys obviously made the comeback. Falcons defense, you got to hold off more. You can't let somebody like Dak run all over you. Like Dak had 450 yards, only 1 throwing touchdown, but 3 rushing.
Yeah,
that cannot happen. Like that's a letdown on the defensive side. 2
things. 1, offside kicks. I don't know if you know this, but you need to recover those. You need to fall down on the ball. Once it's there and not watch it spin around. You should probably just recover it. You should probably just recover it and not hope it goes out of bounds. So thank you, Atlanta, for choking again.
Why would you do that?
Because Atlanta
that doesn't make sense.
Atlanta's full of a bunch of choke artists.
Why would you take the chance that it's going to
I don't know. I don't know. You know, the Cowgirls got lucky.
They did.
Second,
they got bailed out. That's what happened.
Second, and you know, sadly here in Indiana, we don't really get Atlanta versus Dallas Cowboys games, so I wasn't able to watch the whole thing. But why is Julio Jones only getting 2 receptions and only 2 targets?
Yeah. Especially when you're lighting them up on offense like that.
You guys know he's a top 3 receiver in the league, right? I mean, I think he's the best, but
I think so too.
Statistically, I mean, he ain't looking like the best.
Because they don't give it to him.
Why are you only targeting him twice? I get he's probably getting double team on every play, but
well, that's true too.
When the game gets close, maybe somebody can answer that for me because
but you do have another good receiver with Ridley.
You do.
Really good
Ridley is good, but
he had 109 yards.
Julio, you got to give him more than 4 targets.
Hurst is pretty good too. But Julio,
you got to give him more than 4. That'd be like back in the day, Tom Brady only giving Randy Moss 3 targets.
Yeah,
like here you go.
Yeah, like
there's only 3 throws.
That's the thing. Take it. I don't care if he's doubled. He should be.
I don't either. Like
throw it up. There's situations where you could just throw it up and he'll get it.
Throw it up. At least give him a chance. You gotta.
Yeah, for sure. And you got a good quarterback who can air it out. Matt Ryan can throw the ball. Like it's one thing if you had a Baker and you're like, crap. Like but Matt Ryan, like he can throw the dang ball. Like
I agree.
Give him an opportunity to light it up and.
I mean, again, just comparatively, Tyreek only had 5 catches, but Pat Mahomes targeted him 11 times.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about this Falcons team. Every year it seems like they never target Julio.
No,
especially in the end zone.
In the
just
red zone,
chuck
they're
it
bad.
Up to him.
And then I have people sit there and say, "Oh, well, Julio only has 2 touchdowns."
Yeah.
Okay, they don't even look at
target him. Yeah, they don't.
I don't get that.
And he's a guy you could throw up in the back of the end zone and he'll grab it.
Yeah, that'd be like Joe Montana not targeting Jerry Rice.
Literally. Yeah, literally.
Unbelievable.
He's that kind of guy, but I mean.
Thank you for giving the Cowgirls a win.
Yeah, no joke, dude. It's cool. It's nice to see good games, but
it's a great game, but not with the Cowgirls. I want them to be blown out every game.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see the opposite way.
But Yeah, Dallas still has some issues.
Patriots Seahawks.
This was a great game.
Yeah, it was.
Your Patriots, I'm going to say, while they lost,
35-30.
they look good. That Seahawks, Russell Wilson, man, that guy, and I tweeted.
And he got hot. Hot.
Those throws he was throwing, DK Metcalf, he had one to Tyler Lockett,
Yep.
Chris Carter. These are some beautiful throws. That O-line is starting to step up. Their left tackle, it seems like they've gotten that figured out on the offensive line. Seattle's only thing is their defensive line and getting to the quarterback. They're horrible at it. They're horrible at getting to the quarterback.
Yeah.
And I get it's Cam Newton. It's kind of tough.
That's why Cam excelled too. I mean, Cam looked great.
Cam Newton has looked very good.
I mean,
very good.
That's his third most yards since his first 2 games of his career. I don't know if you know that or not. If he bounced outside at the 1 yard line, they win.
Yeah.
If he bounced out on that left hand side, they're probably gonna win that. He's faster than the D. He's gonna get it.
Yep.
The defense has to hold more.
Yeah.
You can't let Russell Wilson. Obviously, he's one of the best quarterbacks.
Damn, that's tough.
But you got to hold him down, especially for a guy. We're known for having the best defensive backs, and you're gonna let him throw 5 touchdowns.
But
they started off well in the first quarter.
But you know what? It's tough. It's tough to hold guys like Russ and Pat Mahomes back because Stephon Gilmore actually didn't even guard DK Metcalf that bad on that touchdown.
Yeah.
Just a perfect throw and a perfect catch. There's Pat Mahomes and Russell Wilson are 2 different breeds in this league to where you can play the best defense possible and they can still find ways to hurt you.
Yeah. For sure. I mean,
and Aaron Rodgers too. I can throw him in there too.
The Patriots just found so many opportunities to win.
Yeah,
that 1 yard line, like I said, he could have bounced outside. There's even one earlier in the drive where they overthrew a pass to Edelman, and that was a touchdown. If not, I mean, he 2 rushing touchdowns, a throwing touchdown. He had an interception and 400 yards, but the interception, you can get better. But I'm okay with taking the risk.
Throws interceptions.
I'm cool with taking the risk too. But I think they should have thrown him earlier.
Yeah,
because if you look at the first half versus second half throws from Cam Newton, it was I think he only had 15 throws in the first half.
Yeah,
and the second half he had 30 or something like that online. If you get him going earlier, and that's when they started kicking it into gear, and he started really going. But I mean, Edelman 179 yards, that's a career high. Harry looked good, 8 receptions. That's good to see. I have a young player.
The team looks good.
I think they look really good.
I thought the Bills would handily win this division, and the Bills, while I still think will win it, they have some competition. I mean, those Patriots are not going to go away.
I mean,
sadly.
And the thing is they might not be the best team, but they are coached by Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I mean, they have the best coaching in the league.
Bill. Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. Because you got your defense is significantly worse. You lost 4 or 5 of your best players, really. Other than Gilman and a few, but you lost majority of your good defenders.
Yeah.
You lost Chung, you lost Hightower, you lost Van Noy, you lost Jamie Collins. You lost your main guys. So the fact that they're doing this well, Jackson as a DB, they lost him. The fact that they're doing this well, I'm really impressed, and it shows a lot about Bill Belichick. I think. So
I'd agree.
So we're gonna go to the other side, the ex-Patriots, Bucks versus Panthers. Won pretty handily for 2 touchdowns.
I really don't have much to say about this. I know Fournette looked very good, but next week. Let's just keep going, I guess. Mike Evans had a good game, 7 receptions, 104 yards.
Yeah.
This is a game they should have won.
Yeah. I mean, Tom Brady could have padded his stats a little bit too. Even there's a few, 2 or 3 times where they just handed it off for a touchdown, where they could have really he could have padded and thrown for those ones. But Tom looked better. He's still not all there. It's not ready. He overthrew a bunch of times to Gronk. He overthrew to Mike Evans a few times.
It happens when you're an old man.
Yeah, it does.
It takes a while for the arm
new
to
system.
get.
You never had a new system.
It takes a while for the arm to get.
Bucks defense looked good. They held really well.
Bucks defense has been looking extremely well.
Yeah, and Bucks receivers, they actually dropped a lot in the second half, and they missed Chris Godwin too. So I think it's looking pretty up for Tampa Bay.
They'll be fine. They're going
if they reel it together.
I think.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
I think so at least.
So, but not much else really for me to say about this game.
Kind of same thing with this one. Broncos lose to Steelers 21-26.
Yeah, Drew Lock went down.
James Conner looked great at running back for the Steelers.
Yeah.
Big Ben did his thing, played pretty well. Defense was pretty decent.
Yep. Again, Drew
all I
Lock
gotta
went
say.
down. That was kind of the story for me.
Yeah. There's
I
not
feel
a lot
bad.
you can do after
Yeah.
that. He only threw like 1 or 2 throws too. Didn't
Yeah,
he?
he
went
was.
down early.
Well, actually, he was 1 for 5. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah, he wasn't.
I thought he
even
went down
throwing
a
the
little
ball
earlier than that.
too well. Before
Oh
that,
yeah, he was
but-
1 for 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went out early. Was it first drive? I think.
Yeah.
First, second drive.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't really.
So
have much to
maybe
say about that.
if Drew Lock was there, it would have been different. But yeah, nothing much to say about that game.
Cool. All right, so we got Jaguars losing to the Titans 33-30.
Again, not much.
If
I will say this:
Jags are looking pretty good.
Jags, other than the Patriots, have been kind of my surprising
Yeah.
team. Where it's like, I had the Jags at like 2-3 wins. They may prove me wrong. They may not. I don't know, but
Dude, I think they're gonna
They
prove
could-
us wrong because they've been looking.
they
good.
could be 2-1
Yeah,
next week.
yeah.
They
Possibly could be 2-0. Really, as of like right now.
Yeah.
They could be 2-0
Ryan Tannehill had a good game.
for sure, dude.
Um,
He's a stud. 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, he had a good game. He's looking good this year.
Robinson for the Jags. He looks really good at
Yeah.
running back. He's been good the last 2 weeks. Minshew threw 2 interceptions. But
Yeah, but
But he's not
that
looking
happens.
bad.
No,
He's not looking that
and he
bad.
turned up in the second half.
That's the thing, though. If I'm the Jags, I like I'm happy with how he played, though. Because
Yeah.
if Minshew doesn't throw a touchdown or 2 of those, they win. And
Yeah.
that's a Titans team. If I'm Titans, I'm worried. Your defense has got to play better. Against
Yeah,
a
you got to
Jaguars
play
team
better.
Like that.
Yeah, but it happens in the NFL. Bad
And
teams
Tannehill played well too. So
Yeah.
if one of those 2 things happen, then it could be a completely different game. If this quarterback just flopped or switched, it could be terrible.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that the Jags even stayed in it, but
Well, the Jaguars
great running
outscored
back,
them
too.
13-3 in the
Yeah.
fourth, so that was kind of they came back.
yeah. So the Packers killed. I have Titans. What, they didn't play the Titans. What am I-
Lions.
Lions. Yeah. What? Typo. As I
Lions.
said, like double game on a week.
Yeah, Lions. They started out hot in this
Yeah.
game, got up 14-3,
Yeah.
and then Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones too.
Aaron Jones had a great running day.
Aaron Jones, the 2 Aarons, the Aaron
Yes.
twins,
Yes.
decided to say, okay, enough of that. You guys had your fun.
Yeah,
and they
dude.
turned up and they beat them.
Aaron Jones is looking. Dude,
Packers are looking good.
18 carries, 168
Yeah,
yards,
2
2 touchdowns, averaging 9.3.
Packers are looking good.
Dude, even Jamal Williams even 8 carries, 63 yards, 8 per fucking attempt. That's crazy. That's like
Yeah.
you're making it to where Aaron doesn't even need to do anything.
Yeah.
he only had 2 touchdowns,
And
and they blow him out.
And silently, they have their best offensive line.
Yes.
What they have in years.
I mean, and
Packers are going to be.
Well, that shows too. I mean,
Yeah.
with how good the running backs are doing.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams only had 3 catches.
Yeah.
I mean, you need.
He has a hamstring issue right now,
for sure.
but hopefully.
But you don't even have to use them. So, like the thing I was pointing out. Like,
Yeah. No, not at all.
If you don't have to use them, that's a good sign for you.
Yep.
Right. I don't have anything else to say about
No, me neither. Yeah. They have a game against the Saints next week. That'll be a little bit more interesting.
it. Even though Saints don't look good.
We will talk about that.
Mm-hmm. So we got Bills versus Dolphins. Bills
Now-
pulled it out. I don't really have a whole lot.
Josh
to say.
Allen he's put himself into the very, very too early conversation for MVP.
Yes.
It's a too early of a conversation to have, but
Yeah.
he's looking very good so far.
That's what I had written down. I said he has like the contention for being one of the best QBs this season so far.
Yeah,
For
so
sure.
far.
4
I hate
touchdowns,
ranking them after 2 games.
417 yards.
Especially this week will be a good test
Yeah.
against the Rams.
When
But-
Diggs played really well,
Yeah.
the defense has got to hold it. I think that's a common occurrence now.
Yeah, defense
Teams are
has
just
gotta
letting,
hold.
like, the defense are just letting people just run it up on them. I don't, like, no, they're not stopping anything. And all the offenses are throwing interceptions. They're not putting them in bad or in good
Yeah.
situations.
Yeah.
But, man, like, defenses this year just don't seem like they've been doing too hot.
There's been a few. Bills defense will be fine. They're a good
No,
defense.
for sure. That's kind of why I'm more disappointed with them letting up 28 against the Dolphins because they're like a great defense. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Colts bounce back.
Hey, Colts did
Beat
bounce
Vikings.
back. Shout out the Colts. They did what the Eagles could not do.
Yeah.
They bounced back. They played well. I thought they might
I got this
do
one
that.
wrong. I got this one wrong. Defense played amazing.
Defense with Kirk Cousins,
Kirk Cousins
has looked
played terrible.
maybe outside of Carson Wentz. Kirk Cousins has looked the worst this year. He has not been looking good.
Not at all.
That team really hasn't
3
been
interceptions,
looking
no
good.
touchdowns.
You know, I get they played the Packers, but man, 11 for 26. You had a QBR of 9.4 out of 100.
9?
Yeah. 9.4 out of 100. That's really bad.
That's
really bad.
If I'm the Vikings, I'm going to be... For one, I'm going to be running it more because...
Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook played... he only got 8 rushes or something, but he...
14 carries, 63 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yeah, so he didn't play bad.
Yeah.
If I'm him, I'm like, dude, Kirk Cousins, you're getting the ball out of your hands. Dude.
Yeah.
I'm letting him run like 25, 30 times.
Yeah.
Until Kirk Cousins proves himself.
Jonathan Taylor, 26 carries, 101 yards. That's very good to see for the Colts rushing.
Yeah, they're running it on a lot.
Yeah, they're limited with their rushing game with Marlon Mack, so that's really nice to see from Jonathan. But, hey, shout out the Colts. Good bounce back win.
Yeah. And
that's good.
And Rivers didn't play great.
No.
One touchdown, one
it's a pretty slow game. I watched half of it.
Not entertaining.
But good for the Colts, though.
Much needed win early on in the season.
Good bounce back win. You're 1-1 now.
And I think that takes a lot of pressure off Rivers too, as well.
Yeah.
Like he's not going out to your first win. Like is going to be the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like at a new team, scrutinized. You're replacing like a great player.
I'd agree.
Or like you're like obviously not directly, but you're
you're
Andrew Luck.
You're kind of that, yeah.
Like they're trying to find that new Andrew Luck, so it was good to get there.
Yep.
Cardinals went over Washington 30-15. This is one of the most fun games for me. I like.
You did. I didn't really watch this game.
I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched like a decent amount of it. And dude, we talked about this already, but Murray and Hopkins together is fun to watch.
Oh yeah, that team
they have a great connection so far.
That team, and they should beat the Washington football team.
Yeah, for sure. But it just shows that Cardinals can win, though.
Yeah, they're 2-0. They're starting out hot off the gate, and with the 49ers looking bad, they can be that second team in the division.
Yeah, that's the thing. 49ers,
sadly, but they're hindered with injuries now. Nick Bosa's out for the season.
49ers just do not impress me at all. I knew that they would have like a terrible bounce back week, obviously they played season. I mean bounce back season like after a Super Bowl, being in it, losing obviously, but
right.
I knew that they're gonna have a tough time, especially with injuries now.
Oh man, Nick Bosa's out, and then
that team.
Who's the other one who's out?
There's Bosa and
who's their other back?
Mozart. Mozart too. Yeah.
Yeah, but that division's...
I accidentally skipped that game, actually.
That division
Let's talk about that right now, actually. 49ers over the Jets. I skipped it. I don't know how I did that. They definitely should have beaten that team. Yeah.
But,
sure.
man...
So it doesn't show me anything, to be honest.
Yeah, they lost... So next week against the Giants, they won't have Garoppolo. They won't have Mozart. They won't have Deebo Samuel, who they haven't had all year. Great. George Kittle is questionable for the game.
Really? I didn't know George was.
Yeah.
Man.
Who are the... Richard Sherman is now on the IR.
Is he really?
Nick Bosa is out.
They lost more
Solomon Thomas is out for the season. He was their second kind of pass rusher. This team is down.
Yeah.
This team is down.
Yeah.
What did you want to...
I say Nick Mullins didn't look good when he got in there. He threw an interception.
And Garoppolo won't be there next week.
So
maybe the.
I still think they beat the Giants. Somehow they find a way. Well, actually, I don't. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, you know what? We'll save that.
Yeah, we'll save it. Yeah. I still don't. I literally don't even know who I'll pick.
Yeah.
I actually don't know who I'm gonna pick in that one, but it should be interesting. That'd be a fun. It
will be a good game.
Because they're both like
injury-prone
teams. It's like which ones of our backups are better?
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to. All right, so we got the Ravens beating the Texans 33-16.
Man,
people expected it.
And I want to focus less on the Ravens and more on the Texans, and this just shows how stupid they were to get rid of D-Hop. Deshaun just doesn't have that guy. He doesn't have that guy with him now. He doesn't have that number one guy.
They could just go to.
You should have paid D-Hop. There are 3 receivers in this league you pay. 4, including probably Tyreek Hill for Kansas City.
Yeah.
Not that he's a top 4 receiver in the league, but I just think for that system, Mahomes needs a guy who's that fast.
Yeah, just air
I think it just helps him.
Yeah.
But other than that, Julio, D-Hop, and Michael Thomas, you give them whatever money that they would like within reason. Obviously, you can't give them like $500 million, but
Yeah, I agree.
you got to pay D-Hop.
Yeah, for sure. Especially
Houston,
when you got a young quarterback that could be really good. Now he's looking like an average quarterback.
now he's not even looking that good.
No.
Baltimore looks scary, but this next week will be the telling week. Them versus the Chiefs.
Yeah,
that will be the telling game.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see. Lamar really didn't do that much. 1 touchdown. They kicked and made 4 field goals, so they're not really getting it done. They're not going all the way getting the touchdowns.
Right, but they were up 20-10, and then 23-10 at the end.
Deshaun, the main story for me was just Deshaun looks so. Deshaun he doesn't have anything to do.
No,
he doesn't have anything to work with.
You know, was Will Fuller even playing?
I don't think so.
No, he definitely did, and if
did he really?
He had 1 rush, so I don't know if he got injured. I'm not. So this game, it was weird because on my TV, this was going to be the game on Fox, and then it ended up being the Chiefs and the Chargers. So I didn't really get to watch too much of this game, but just going off of all that, Houston they look depleted.
Yeah, for sure.
Next week is
no threats, really.
Kind of a must-win in some ways for them. Baltimore, they're the deepest team in the league.
Yeah.
They're gonna.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So we'll go to that next game. The Chiefs beating the Chargers.
This was in a very exciting game. Mahomes didn't play. He made some nice throws. That nice throw to Tyreek, the 2-point conversion throw.
Yeah.
But again, we hold Pat Mahomes to very high standards. So by his standards, not a very good game.
Yeah.
Harrison Butker, man.
Yeah, dude.
You talk about a kicker. He made a 53-yard.
And then 3 58s.
And then 2... Well, I'm just talking about that little stretch. You realize how difficult that is? You kick a 53-yard field goal, get called for a penalty. Okay, we go back 5 yards.
Yeah.
Whatever. I can hit this.
Yeah.
Oh, I hit a 58-yarder, but they call a timeout. Oh, my God, I got to do this again?
Yeah.
After, earlier in the game, I'd hit a 58 and a 34?
Yeah. So he literally went 5 for 5. Only 3 of them counted.
Yeah. That's a crazy
with
258
of those ones that counted. Man.
And that's scary because this Chiefs team on offense, literally,
they looked bad.
So what? Yeah, on offense, they didn't really look that good.
Yeah, defense is pretty decent, but Chiefs shouldn't have won that. They got bailed out.
Yeah,
bad.
Harrison Butker, good.
And Herbert looked good.
Herbert does look good. When they picked him, I even thought, that's a good pick. This guy's going to go under the radar in the mid-teens.
Yeah, it was like early mid-teens.
I think he was number 18, actually. But, fact check me. But,
I think 13, I could be wrong. But, yeah, Mahomes, the thing about Mahomes probably played his worst game of the year.
Yeah.
27 of 47.
He didn't throw the ball that well.
That's going to be his worst.
I think just a little bit, not to make excuses for Pat, in the Chiefs, but I think they're looking for next week against the Ravens.
Yeah, I think
they're looking for next week against the Ravens.
They looked over this team.
I
don't know. The Ravens looked really good this year. The Chiefs looked decent in the first. They're pretty good in the first game. Second game, they fell apart.
We'll see what happens.
Herbert is actually number 6.
Oh, wow. Number 6. Wow. Okay, I was very wrong.
Wow.
But I don't know who I was thinking of.
But he showed up though. He is the real deal. If he keeps this up, statistically, I don't think his game was really great, but in the he showed up when he.
He's going to be a good quarterback.
I think so too.
I think he will. He has all the tools.
Especially because he didn't expect to play this game.
Yeah, he has all the tools.
Taylor got injured, and it's one thing if you're sitting on the bench, you're like, oh crap, it's my time to go. It's gonna be harder to throw.
Yeah.
Versus if you're going in the game, you're like, hey, look, this is what you need to do. This is how the defense is gonna look. Play a different offensive scheme, really, because they play a lot different. Herbert and Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, no, they do.
So we got Saints. They lose the Raiders. Biggest upset
of the week.
By far.
And you know what?
34-24. Not even close.
We really should have seen this coming because when Drew Brees doesn't have Michael Thomas, Drew Brees. Okay, we all make fun of Tom Brady for looking like an old man, right?
Yeah, he did a bunch of dump down passes.
Drew Brees also looks like an old man.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have a top 3 receiver in the game, his only other option he trusts is Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
and you can't beat the Raiders.
And the thing is, it's one thing if you don't have much time and you throw those dump down passes to the running back, but when you
did have time.
Yeah, he has all the time in the world in the pocket. So the fact that he's dumping it down then just shows that he doesn't believe in anybody but Michael Thomas. And that's probably why Michael Thomas always has like so many receptions in a season.
Oh, yeah. Which...
to each their own. But, I mean, yeah, Drew Brees didn't look good. A touchdown and interception.
Saints should be a little worried until they get MT back, and then once MT comes back.
But Kamara looked good. He had a bunch of receptions, 2 touchdowns running the ball, 6.1 average running it. Why don't you run it more? If he's got 6.1 average, for sure, but he's playing bad. You don't have your best receiver. Derek Carr, on the other end, played a hell of a game. 3 touchdowns.
The Raiders look good.
They've been
Josh Jacobs looks good, too.
Yeah,
that's another team that's somewhat... I think I may be somewhat wrong on, though. I think I had them at 5 or 6 wins. They're looking good so far.
They're 2-0 so far, yeah. Who'd they beat week 1? I can't remember.
The Panthers.
Did they?
Yep.
The Panthers aren't terrible.
Josh Jacobs ran it for like 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Okay, cool.
So, no, they looked really good.
Yeah, that team's a dark horse for sure.
Yeah.
I want to get into our new section here. We're going to do the top 10 NFL teams right now. If we had to do standings at this moment, obviously it's really hard early on in the season to like make a standings list. But as of 2 games, do we want to go like our list down, or do you want to just do your whole list or my whole list?
No, let's just go. You go 10, then I'll go 10, and then do you have any honorable mentions?
Or should I go? Should we start at 1? It's almost easier to
start at 1
because it's almost easier to is that team worse, or you know what I mean?
Okay. All right. Yeah. We can start at 1. So who's your number 1?
I had Ravens.
So do I.
Because
I also had the Ravens.
They have no noticeable weakness so far.
No, they do not.
So far.
We'll
see next week will show who's at 1 or 2, obviously.
Yep. So I'm assuming at 2 you had the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. Okay. So 1 and 2.
Just because they didn't look very good in week 2.
No,
Their defenses look bad at spurts. Pat Mahomes didn't look great in the second game. That's why I got.
Yeah. Nope. 1 and 2. And I figured coming into this we'd probably agree. I think we'll agree.
We'll agree up to
4 or 5.
Yeah, up to 4 I think we'll agree.
Number 3.
I got Seahawks.
So do I. I also have Seattle. Russell Wilson.
Russell's playing incredible. That's all there is to it.
And that line has stepped up. They have a running game. They have 2 really good receivers in Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
2 very good receivers. Yeah. So, Seahawks
they're a championship type team.
Yes.
Then at 4, I got Packers. You got Rodgers is back. Both of them.
Yes.
Playing incredible.
Both Aarons.
I think they look
Aaron
pretty
twins.
Good.
Yep, I had the Packers at 4.
This is where we might...
Who do you have? The Patriots at 5?
No.
This is
going to surprise you a lot.
Okay.
I got the Bills.
So do I.
Do you really?
I do have the Bills at 5.
No way.
Now, though, with this team...
I'm very surprised.
With this team and the next team, I had trouble with. Only because the Bills have some Cowboy syndrome what they had last year where they played some very easy teams early on.
Yeah.
The Bills have played the Jets and the Dolphins.
Yeah. But with how Josh Allen's played,
I know. Josh Allen has played great. I can't wait to see what they'll do this week against this team.
Yeah.
But the Bills have looked very good defensively. I think they're still stout. I think offensively, Josh Allen with his now new number 1, Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
Singletary played better at running back. So I like this.
And you got
Bills
a good defense. You got that good defense. All right. So at 6, I have the Saints.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I do not have the Saints at 6.
I still think once they get their main receiver back, they're that type of team.
Now, I've been thinking, okay, so far in these first 2 weeks, who have been the best teams?
Yeah.
I don't know if you're looking towards the future more. I am not. I'm going strictly by these past 2 weeks.
I'm not going
mostly.
I'm still just going. I'm going off if I had to make a power rankings right now. Still knowing who's on the team.
Okay.
And who's going to come back and reasonably win. And
which I would change a little bit. I went off just strictly these first 2 weeks. Who've looked the best? I think the Rams at 6.
Ooh. This year, yeah, for sure.
I think they looked good against Dallas, and they looked very good against the Eagles. And you know what? I think those are 2 somewhat. Dallas has a lot of weapons, and I know we gave
the way they blew out the Eagles too. Yeah,
and the Eagles were a playoff team last year.
I can see that.
I had the Rams at 6. They're 2-0, and I think they make somewhat of a big statement.
Yeah,
this upcoming week.
I'll say this, I don't even have them in my top 10. I have them at 11.
Wow. So you have them in the honorable mentions. I had 3 teams in the honorable mentions. So
I had 2 honorable mentions.
Okay.
So
who do you
at
have?
7, I have the Titans. Might
Okay.
come as a surprise.
This will come as a surprise for you.
Who?
I have the Patriots at 7.
Patriots. I did have the Patriots at 7, and then I moved the Titans here.
So I had the Titans at 8.
Okay,
Those
so
were the
flip-flop.
2 teams I'm sitting there. I'm like, man.
Even though the Titans could be 0-2, that's the only thing that held me back.
I thought had they blown out the Jaguars, and then who'd they play week 1?
They play.
You'll have to help me out
I'll
on
look.
that. For some reason,
I'll
I'm
look.
I'm spacing on that, but
It's preseason. Who are we talking about? Titans.
yeah,
Titans played Broncos,
Broncos. So
and they were both close games.
Yeah.
The Broncos look decent this year. They're not bad.
No, but
They've lost
the
two,
Titans.
but they're close.
Well, and the Titans should have won that game. Okay, I remember because Gostkowski kept missing all the kicks.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So
okay,
they really
I
could have
remember
won by
that.
more. They should have won. By
The Jaguars game kind of scares me, and the Patriots just looked so good against Seattle.
yeah.
So that's why
at 8 I got Patriots.
Yeah.
Just because I literally had played so well against.
No, that's about what I have them at. So number
9 I got Tampa.
So I had the Saints at 9.
Ooh, okay.
I had the Saints
I could
at
see
9.
them being there just because of the loss.
Now, okay, I want to make this clear. Once Michael Thomas comes back and I get a little bit more
Reassurance almost.
then the Saints are a top 4 team in the NFL, top 5.
Top 5.
But
They should be at 5. If they won this week, they would be at 5 for me.
But with Drew Brees, this week they play the Packers, and I do think they are going to lose against
This
the
week
Packers.
is going to show a lot.
I think they will lose against the
Did they
Packers.
have Michael Thomas back?
No, they won't have Michael Thomas
they're
back.
losing.
I'm almost
But their record's not going to show what kind of team they are later in the season, though.
correct.
That's the thing.
Yes, correct. And again, I'm thinking strictly these first 2 weeks and a little bit next week.
Okay.
But just predicting a little bit.
Fair enough.
I don't think Michael Thomas will be back. I haven't seen anything on it. He's listed as questionable, but they're always going to have him as questionable until Sunday.
Just to
if they
psych
have
the
Michael
team out.
Thomas back, then they could win.
Yeah.
If they do not have Michael Thomas back, I do not think they will win.
I don't think they're going to win either, especially if not.
Yeah. So in number 10, who do you have?
Steelers.
You had the Steelers?
Yeah.
I had the Buccaneers.
Okay.
At 10.
Okay.
I almost had the Steelers. I almost had the Buccaneers on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
Because they played the Panthers. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Cool. You beat the Panthers.
Yeah.
And you got beat by the
But once
Saints.
I start clicking, though, team's got so many.
So I have them at 10. So who didn't you have in the top? I think we had all the team. No. Who didn't you have in the top? Oh, you didn't have the Rams.
They were
in the
outside
top 10.
looking at, and also
That's
49ers.
Yeah, I do
because
not.
of poor week 1, and then they have injuries. So now I think
depending
on who comes back when. It depends who comes back when.
Yeah, they lost.
I haven't heard anything about the extent to each injury.
Yeah, so they lost both of their best pass rushers. Sherman's out for a little bit, and their defense was kind of their calling card. So I don't even have them in my honorable mentions.
Fair enough.
My honorable mentions, the Steelers, and they almost flip-flop with the Buccaneers. My only thing with the Steelers is kind of like
Their defense is good, and Big Ben's back, and he's playing decent. So,
But
but they don't have the options and threats that the Buccaneers have.
I would agree.
That's why I have Buccaneers.
But kind of like the Bills, they've played some very shaky teams. They've played who'd they play this last week? They played the Giants in week 1.
Giants in week 1, and then week 2 they play Broncos. So
yeah, so
kind of the same story. We're talking the other one,
and Drew Lock wasn't available for that. Well, he was, and then got hurt.
yeah, for
So I had them on the outside looking in. I had the Raiders. I gotta give the Raiders their
I
props.
should have put the Raiders.
These first two games, they've looked very good. They beat the Saints, albeit without Michael Thomas, and they beat the Panthers, albeit they're not the greatest team, but they've looked good. Yeah. And then I also had the Cardinals.
Okay.
On the outside looking in.
I like
and the Cardinals. I almost put at 10.
I like that a lot.
They just beat the Washington football team. So
I agree. They got to get a good. If they can get a good win under their belt without getting too many losses, I like.
I think, and then I think the Colts will have a chance to sneak into those honorable mentions into that top 14.
If Phillip Rivers can get to a guy who's throwing like 2 to 3 touchdowns a game on like an interception, maybe or less, I think they could.
Yeah, so I think those will kind of be your 14 teams. Maybe some Cowgirls in there.
Okay.
The 49ers. Yeah. I think the 49ers are going to fall off, sadly. But
yeah.
And I had them at 12
maybe
weeks.
the Chargers after week 2. After
possibly.
You see them showing up.
Possibly.
Depending on how Herbert can play.
Possibly. So,
yeah. I think
those are my top 10. So yeah, we had the same teams in the top 10 for the most part.
Yeah.
You should have had the Rams.
I'm actually surprised that we had as many.
You should
as
have
we
had
did.
the Rams. Yeah, so
I should have had the Rams.
Yeah, you should have.
But I don't know
But
who
we
I'd like
won't.
to take out for that.
We won't speak.
I don't know.
Well, I can tell you.
Maybe Steelers. I guess I'd have to take Steelers.
You can pick out any of the
It'd be
teams that
Steelers
the
or
Patriots, Titans, Saints, or Buccaneers. You can take out any of those teams and put in the Rams.
I don't know, man.
Because the Rams are
It's
better
hard to
than
kick
all
them
that.
out. It's hard to kick them out.
I like the
And
Rams.
Steelers. I'd probably kick out Steelers. Steelers or Tampa.
Yeah.
Just because Tampa's got.
Tampa.
I'd pick out Steelers because I think Tampa has a way bigger
They have a higher
upside.
ceiling.
Yeah, they have a way higher
Yeah.
ceiling.
So this week,
So let's get into week 3 predictions now.
and we'll kind of breeze through this a little bit, but
Go ahead and introduce them.
Miami at Jacksonville, Thursday night football. Who do you got?
Jacksonville. Jacksonville is playing good.
I would agree.
Semi-close one.
I think it'll be close, but man, so I'm liking all the back and forth going on with Fitzpatrick and Minshew, all jokes, but beard or mustache.
Yeah.
Beard personally, I can't really grow either, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Jacksonville for this game too. I think.
they've been playing really well.
Yeah, and
Robinson
Miami
at running back.
Yeah, in Miami, Devontae Parker's been banged up, and they're not starting Tua yet. So
Minshew's played a few good games. He played a good game, and then he played an okay game. So
Yeah.
I think he'll have a pretty decent game again.
yeah, so Chicago at Atlanta.
Oh man.
I think
Falcons are gonna get a win here.
I think Chicago gets a win. I think
I wanted to say Chicago.
I think last week was a little derailing for Atlanta. I think to lose that way, it can go one of two ways. It can either A, fuel you and you get better and you start winning, or two, it can really derail your team. And I think they'll go into the not derail type of, but it.
Yeah.
Though the Bears,
With how the
this
Bears
game's
played
tricky,
the Giants,
though,
though, I can't. That's why I gotta go.
So I could go see it either way, but I'll play devil's advocate, or I'll take the opposite team. I'll take the Bears. You can have the Falcons, and I'll take Chicago. Okay, so this is one of my 2 games of the week. Rams at Buffalo.
That's interesting.
That is a very good game. I really hope I get this
They're
on.
making this hard, man.
I hope I get this on TV. Knowing my luck, I'll probably get Washington at Cleveland. But I really hope I get the Rams in Buffalo. This game's going to be very good. I think these teams are very close. I think Buffalo barely sneaks it out.
I think so. It's gonna be close one with Buffalo, I think. Depending on how the defense is looking.
But man, my only thing is, and this is what's making me hesitate, Buffalo hasn't played a really good team yet. Whereas I think the Rams have played 2 teams who are more proven, have been in the playoffs, more competitive.
But they got an really ugly logo. So
You're going off the
hate
logo.
the new logo.
Yeah,
man.
I don't like the logo.
It doesn't even look like a ram. They just put a little bit of a little something on top.
Yeah. No, I'll go with Buffalo for that game slightly.
It's gonna be close. It's gonna be really close.
Next game, Washington and Cleveland at Cleveland. I think Cleveland wins this.
Yeah, Cleveland will win.
I don't think that's.
They'll have no trouble winning.
Yeah.
Or they
shouldn't have any trouble.
And if there is, we'll be on here talking about Baker.
Yes, we will.
We know the reason why they would lose.
Yes, we will. Tennessee at Minnesota. I'm gonna have Tennessee. I think Minnesota's in
I got
chaos
Tennessee
right now.
I think so too.
Kirk Cousins does not look good
because the Colts didn't play that great. Like their defense played good, but the offense
Colts
didn't
really
play that good. The offense was not.
This
that
is a so-so game,
and the fact that they scored 11 points.
Yeah, come on.
I think
we got to do more. Vegas at New England, very interesting game. I think New England will beat them. It is at home. Bill Belichick against John Gruden. I think Belichick's got the upper hand, and Belichick will do very well against Derek Carr.
I think the Patriots are going to win. They proved pretty well against Seattle. Even though the Raiders are playing good, this is going to be a big win. If they can get this is going to be a big one.
I think they beat the Raiders.
And a lot of teams are going to sleep on the Raiders, and if the Patriots lose, they're going to be a little frantic about it. I think this is a big win for them. If they win, people aren't going to they're going to overlook it. And if they lose, they're going to overlook it again.
Yeah. Either way, the Patriots are in, San Fran at the Giants.
I'm gonna go with the Giants just to be fun.
So am I. They
played well.
I was really
second
hoping you
half
were going to
of
go
that.
with the 49ers. So here's why I'm going with the Giants. One, obviously because of injuries. I think San Fran has so many injuries on defense and offense. It ain't even funny.
Yeah.
The Giants lost Saquon. Okay, yes, that's sad.
Yeah.
We played some without him last year. We're a little bit used to that. San Fran doesn't have the pass rush that they had, which that's what gets Daniel Jones flustered.
And your QB is gone.
Yes.
Like
And
QB for
your
QB.
best running back is gone.
Yeah, and so I'm taking QB
And your
for
best
QB.
receiver.
I'm taking Daniel Jones over
Nick Mullins.
Yeah. Mullins.
When Daniel Jones has time in the pocket, that's when he's best. He's not all rushed around.
I want to put money on this game because I bet you. I bet you 49ers.
It's in my 12-team
Are
parlay.
49ers picked over Giants? I imagine
So
they would be.
-4.5 for the 49ers
Oh.
at MetLife. And here was the other thing. So there was a report that came out. The 49ers were saying we're scared to play at MetLife because of what happened. So they played the Jets at MetLife last week.
Yeah.
And now they're scared to play there. I think that kind of thought in your head, if you're already saying
Going
that,
doubt, yeah.
mentally, you're not prepared for that game.
Yeah,
you're
you shouldn't be
worried
going with
about
doubt.
you're worried about just getting out of there healthy.
Yeah.
I think the Giants take it.
It'd be interesting to see.
Now they'll
gonna be
probably
close
get
one
now
out
they'll
there.
probably get blown out. I'll lose my money.
I think
and
it's gonna be
stuff, and I'll
close.
be
And
all-
it's gonna be close to low scoring. I think.
Yeah, I'd agree. So next game, Cincinnati at Philadelphia.
I think Eagles are gonna
I
turn
think
around.
Eagles bounce back.
Yes. Wentz is gonna have a pretty decent game. Burrows is gonna keep it close, but they're gonna lose again.
Yep.
They could pull it out.
Bengals.
I would
could
like
pull
to
it
see
out.
them pull it out.
So would I, but
You never know.
I think Eagles turn it around.
I think so, too.
Texans at Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh are going to take it. Pittsburgh have a better defense. Their quarterback has looked better thus far. They have more options. I think they are, as a whole, just a better team.
Here's the thing: I want to play this game where I just disagree with you on everything, but I
Yeah,
can't with
we
this
can't.
game either. I think Pittsburgh does take it. They'll put Deshaun Watson under duress, and I think Pittsburgh takes it.
Yeah.
This game, this will be Jets at Indy.
Jets, baby. No, I was kidding.
You go with that.
Hot week for the Colts.
I'll go with the Indy.
I think they pull
Yep.
it out. Bad week for the Jets, as always.
Yes.
As always.
Sam Darnold doesn't look good.
No, awful.
Carolina at the Chargers.
Chargers. Chargers look good
I
last
think
week.
I do too.
Carolina's not terrible.
Well, they won't have Christian McCaffrey.
No, then it is.
Yeah, so that's why the Panthers are losing. If they had Christian McCaffrey, I'd take Carolina, but they don't.
Yeah.
So, Tampa Bay at Denver. So this game for me, I was actually probably going to pick this as an upset game, but Drew Lock isn't there, so no, it's not an upset game anymore. Tampa will walk in and win that.
I think Tampa. If Drew Lock was there, I think they keep it tight.
I think it'd be closer.
I think with Tampa, with how it is now, I think Tampa's gonna walk on them.
Yeah, I think Tampa will win that one.
But that Broncos team's good too.
They are.
They're going to be
but
overlooked.
But them, as well as the 49ers, have been a little bit decimated with injuries.
Yeah, for sure.
That nobody could.
But they still keep games close. They're not bad. They're not bad.
Not at all. So Tampa shouldn't overlook them. Don't go in. But Tom Brady's great at that. I don't think he goes in a game overlooking teams.
Nah, not at all.
Detroit at Arizona.
Well, especially because he has something to prove. Too.
No, exactly.
Arizona's looked really
Arizona
good. I like the
look
fire.
good. I think it'll be closer than what people expect, but I do. I think Arizona will take that.
The Lions aren't bad though.
No,
Like Lions, like they look good in the first half against Packers. First quarter really, but
and they looked good against Chicago up until the guy just missed an easy catch. But
I think they still lose.
yeah, I think Arizona beats them.
Yeah.
So this game will be kind of interesting. I think Dallas at Seattle.
I don't think it's gonna be very interesting.
You don't think so?
I think the Cowgirls are going to shrink back into what they are, and they're chokers, and against big games where they should still be in it, and they should be close, I think they're going to get beat. I think it's going to be 42 to like 21 or 24.
Yeah, I think
24
Cowboys,
or something like that.
Cowboys got away with one last year with one of the stupidest plays in NFL history, along with D Ford lining up offsides against the Patriots in the 2018 AFC Conference Championship. You'll never be forgiven for that, as well as not giving Marshawn Lynch the ball.
Yeah.
So there you go, Tom Brady. There's 2 lucky Super Bowls. Green Bay at New Orleans.
I think the Packers are going to win it. Especially without Michael Thomas, they're definitely going to win.
Jeez, I really wish there were some more interesting games. The Packers. Yeah, the Packers will win this one without. Okay.
It would be such a good game though.
If MT was there,
yeah.
That we'd have more argument there with that.
I think so. Because I think I would take the Saints over the Packers. There.
I'd stay with the Packers just for the sake of argument.
Just be a jerk about it.
Yeah, that's why I had to bring up Tom Brady and his 2 lucky Super Bowls.
Okay.
3 of them. Kansas City at Baltimore. Actually, if you look at all of Tom Brady's Super Bowls, they're kind of lucky. But
are they lucky?
Kansas City
or good drives at end of games?
Sure. Okay. Anyway, Kansas City at Baltimore.
I'm gonna let you answer this first because I don't even know what to think. I don't know what to go with.
Listen,
they're so tight for me.
My brain is telling me, let's be logical about this. Let's go with Baltimore. Chiefs have been looking a little shaky these past 2 weeks. So let's just go with Baltimore and be safe. I'm not going to listen to my brain. I never have. So I'm going with the Chiefs. I'm going with my heart, emotion. Pat Mahomes is coming out here. We're throwing for 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, maybe an interception, but we're killing it.
I swore on everything. I was like, I don't know what I want to go with because I was like, the logical team
is Baltimore.
And the team that's playing hotter right now is Baltimore. So most people will probably pick Baltimore, but I'm like, the Chiefs are so fiery and they could just take off and just go off on you. Like, I gotta go Chiefs.
So
too.
Mahomes is probably the greatest September quarterback ever. I was seeing some statistics today. The dude's crazy in September.
Really?
He's never lost a game in September.
For real?
Yeah, ever. Look it up. I didn't believe it.
Wow.
Never has lost a game in
impressive.
September. Throws a whole bunch of touchdown passes, no interceptions. This dude is going to be... This is a game where Kansas City's like, okay, we're going to announce our presence right now. We ain't going anywhere. I don't care about Lamar. I don't care about, Hollywood Brown.
How deep that
I don't care about any of y'all.
Yep.
Pat Mahomes is going to come out. We're throwing for 4 tutties, 400 yards. I'm going with my heart.
I hate it, but I agree.
I know you hate it.
I think he'll get 3 tutties, and I like Pat Mahomes.
I know.
But
I'm annoying with him.
But man, I think it's gonna be a shootout.
Either way. It's gonna be a fun game.
Be a great
this
game.
Is a great we have a great Sunday night game, a great Monday night game. Even the Thursday night game, while it's 2 lesser teams, unlike the NBA, I can watch these 2 teams. I can watch Miami at Jacksonville. Kansas City at Baltimore, though. This is the game of the year.
Yeah, I think so.
Mahomes boy, let's take it home. We're
early on in the
another
season,
MVP.
Early on in the season, whoever's gonna win is gonna assert their dominance.
And this could be the team for the number 1 seed. So this year you have 7 teams in the playoffs.
Yep.
This could be early indications on who gets that number 1 seed. A very important game.
And whoever wins this one's gonna carry it on throughout till the playoffs.
I'm telling you
guys, the best team because they're gonna come back to this.
Put your money on Kansas City. My heart never...
And our heart's never been wrong.
No, my heart's never been wrong.
About anything ever.
Wrong. So
I know we said this last week, and it keeps being a recurring thing that I feel like we're going to keep saying. Next week, QB rankings will happen because these are big games this next week. There's a lot of really good matchups that will tell a lot on this. So next week is going to be the week where we're going to do QB rankings.
All right.
Put all your money on it. We keep saying it. This is the second week we're pushing it back, but we're going to do it. We're going to get it done.
Yep. We'll start having less NBA topics too, just as it winds down a little bit. So
and honestly, we didn't have that many NBA topics.
No.
We during the finals, we'll speed up. I think we'll ramp up if it's a good series. If not, it'll be quick.
Yeah.
But if it's good back and forth, then we'll be talking a lot more. We'll still have that NBA discussion.
Yeah.
And a factor of it. I don't know if you want to to have it when the NBA is over. We'll still have obviously some
discussion,
talk.
But it'll be NFL. It'll be King NFL season.
Yeah,
we'll be right in the midst of it.
It'll be like a 5-minute NBA talk. Maybe we'll have what I kind of want to do is an update of where things are going and what's going on, and then maybe one ranking a week or one random topic like a versus or something like that.
Yeah,
and then we get 5-10 minutes of it and go on to the NFL.
But we'll be in the midst of Mahomes mania, just dominating the league. Daniel Jones will be dominating. We'll all be happy.
Wow.
Tom Brady will be retired. Hopefully by the middle of the year.
Him and Gronk going out together?
Yeah, they'll go out. They'll be 3-5.
I expect Gronk to get more receptions.
Yeah, I
Targets
looked and
receptions.
Tom had or Rob Gronkowski had 0 receptions. I was like, I thought they were best.
And he only had like a
friends.
target or two.
And you're not even feeding your best friend at Tom.
But he's
Brady.
been a few of them have been overthrown.
6 lucky Super Bowls, man. That's what it gets you. Just a long, nice career, and then
And then on that
like
note,
Giselle and kissing your kids.
on that note, we're in week 3 or week 2 of the NFL. Hopping into week 3 next week. We'll see you next one.
Yes. See you guys later. Put all your money on the Chiefs.
Chiefs Nation.
Oh man, I love bandwagon. It's the best.